So we are at page number 117. 117. Page number 117. We have seen how Shylock was sharpening the knife in order to cut the flesh from Antonio. And Graciano was condemning him, saying that you are sharpening it not on the SOLE soul, but on your SOUL soul. That is to say, Shylock is very hard hearted. And he asked, is there anything that can penetrate your hard heart and make you merciful? And Shylock replied, saying, no, none that thou hast wit enough to make. None that you have wit and intelligence to make. That means nothing can change me. That's what Shylock was saying. Now Graciano speaks and says, O be thou damned, execrable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. Thy courage spirit governed a wolf who hanged for human slaughter. Even from the gallows did his fell soul fleet, and whilst thou layest in the unhallowed dam, infused itself in thee, for thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. It's a little difficult idea to understand. I will explain. We start from the end of the passage. For thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. Graciano says that Shylock's desires, impulses are wolfish, like that of an wolf. He behaves like an wolf. He is bloody. He has great desire for blood or shedding blood. Starved and ravenous. Is starved and ravenous means starved means not having sufficient food for a long time. So very hungry. And ravenous is hungry. Ravenous is hungry. So hungry for what? Hungry for flesh. Hungry for meat. So he is having, Shylock is having all the qualities of an wolf. Wolfish qualities. A wolf is bloodthirsty and it is flesh hungry. Thirst for the blood and hunger for the flesh. How did Shylock become like this? How did Shylock become like an wolf? It is because there is a theory by Pythagoras. Pythagoras was a Greek philosopher. He said that there is something called a rebirth of animals. Animal souls entering human body. Being in India, we are familiar with the rebirth. That is, Hindus believe that after your death, human beings after their death will enter the body of an animal and be reborn. For example, a dog or a cat or a rat, whatever it may be. So it is called a rebirth. If you have done good things, you will be born as a good animal. If you do bad things in your life, you will be born a bad in the form of a bad animal. So that is rebirth that we are familiar with. This is just opposite of that. Animals enter into human body. Ours is human beings after death, their soul enter into you animals. This is just opposite. Animal souls will enter into human body. So that is a theory of Pythagoras. So Pythagoras rebirth animal soul entering into human body. A man-eating wolf soul entered Shylock's body. So now what happened? There was a man-eating wolf. The wolf was killing so many human beings. As a result, they brought him to trial and he was condemned to death by hanging. The wolf was supposed to be hanged. And while just immediately after his being hanged, what happened? The soul of the man-eating wolf ran and entered the Shylock's mother's womb. Shylock was inside the womb and he got into Shylock's body. Therefore, Shylock is wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. So that is what Graciano is saying. We'll just look at the words. Oh, be thou damned inexecrable dog. Meaning is given there. A dog that cannot be insulted or cursed enough. That means very, very mischievous, very notorious, very bad, very hungry, like that. Oh, be thou damned inexecrable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. Trunk is body. So now, till now I did not believe that animal souls can enter human body. That's a theory of Pythagoras. I never believed. Now, after seeing you and your attitude, your inability to transform makes me to believe in the theory of Pythagoras that animals after their death, their souls will enter into human bodies. Thy courage spirit is a spiteful dog, a dog which is hated, governed a wolf. So thy courage spirit, that is the hated dog, Graciano calls Shylock a dog that is being hated. This dog was inhabited a wolf's body earlier, who hanged for human slaughter. The wolf was killing human beings, therefore, the wolf was put to death by hanging. Even from the gallows did his fell soul flee. We have already seen in Patriot, poem Patriot, gallows. Gallows is a place where somebody is put to death by hanging. Even from the gallows did his fell soul flee. Fell soul is cruel soul. Fleet means very fast it went. And whilst thou, that is Shylock, layest in thy unhallowed dam. Shylock was lying in the womb of his unholy mother. That time entered into the womb and entered into the body, infused itself in thee, entered into the body of Shylock. For why do I say? Because thy desires, thy impulses are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. Wolfish is like that of an wolf. Bloody is thirsty for blood. Starved and ravenous means hungry for flesh. I think it's very clear. Okay. Shylock, till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offendest thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law. So Shylock is not at all moved, though Graciano used very powerful words. Very powerful words. It's more than cursing him, more than ridiculing him. Just telling why you are so wolfish, so thirsty for blood and flesh. In spite of that, Shylock is not moved. So Shylock says, I have no problem. You keep on speaking, but don't be careful about your thoughts. Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond. That is, you can keep on shouting as long as you don't remove the seal from my bond. That is, you don't put an end to my privilege. I have the right to have a forfeiture, the forfeiture. By law, I have the right. How much you shout doesn't matter. Even if you keep shouting at the top of your voice also, my right to have a pound of flesh is not going to be cancelled. But be careful, repair thy wit. The only problem is that be careful about your health. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will, thou but offendest thy lungs to speak so loud. My only concern is, you keep on speaking like this, that is going to hurt your lungs. So be careful about it. Repair thy wit. Therefore, come to your senses and stop destroying your throat. Good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. You are going to ruin your throat. I stand here for law. So understood, no? What Shylock is saying, you are shouting at the top of your voice, trying to convey something. Whatever you say is not going to change me. As long I have the right to have a pound of flesh of unknown. Nobody can take away that right. Only I am concerned, you are a young fellow and you keep on shouting like this, you will spoil your thought. That will be bad for your health. Therefore, stop shouting and save your life. Duke, this letter from Bellario doth commend. You remember that Duke had asked someone to go and bring the clerk. Clerk came and handed over the letter. So he was going through the letter. Meanwhile, Graciano and Shylock had the conversation. Now Duke has seen the letter. Now he says, this letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he? Commend is recommend. This letter from Bellario, Dr. Bellario, the eminent doctor, is recommending a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he? Young and learned lawyer. Nerissa. He attendeth here hard by. He attendeth means he is present here, just close by. Hard by means close by. Close by, just here, he is present just here. To know your answer, whether you will admit him. He hasn't come inside, he is waiting. He wants to know whether you will admit him. You will allow him to take up the case. Next page, 118. Duke, with all my heart, some 3 or 4 of you, go give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear Bellario's letter. So the Duke says, yes, few of you, 3 or 4 of you, go and bring the doctor, the lawyer, giving all courtesies, all respects. Meantime, the court shall hear Bellario's letter. What Bellario has written will be read out, and the people who are present in the court, they will hear it. Clerk reads, "Your Grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter I am very sick. But in the instant that your messenger came, in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthasar." So what did Dr. Bellario write? "Your Grace shall understand." Kindly please, I want to bring to your understanding this, that at the receipt of your letter, when I received your letter, I am very sick. I am very sick. I happen to be unwell. Just that time it so happened a friend of mine had come to visit me. In that instant means that moment that your messenger came, in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthasar. I acquainted him with the cause in controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. So just when you came, just when your messenger came, it happened that there was I had a visitor. I had a visitor. So that visitor, what did you do? His name was Balthasar, a young doctor from Rome. You must take note of this one. The servant of Portia was also Balthasar. And now Portia coming in the disguise of a lawyer. That time the name of the lawyer also is Balthasar. Okay, don't get confused. There are two Balthasars. One was servant of Portia, another one is the lawyer or Portia in the disguise of the lawyer. I acquainted him. I acquainted him means I briefed him with the cause in controversy. That is a matter in dispute. That is, in this case, the case between Antonio and Shylock has been briefed to him. We turned over many books together. So after introducing the case between Antonio and the merchant, we turned over many books together. Turned over means referred. We both together referred to many books because they had to prepare law points. They had to find out what all laws will be helpful in arguing. So law points have to be prepared by referring to books. That we did together. He is furnished with my opinion. That means I have given him my opinion regarding this legal matter. What is my opinion? I have already given to the young man, which bettered with his own learning and improved with his own learning. That is the learning of Balthasar. The greatness whereof I cannot enough recommend comes with him. So he is so great, he is a praiseworthy, he is very efficient man. So I cannot explain how efficient he is, that good he is. To fill up your grace request in my stead. He is such a wonderful man, very good at his work, that he will be an efficient person to take my place. I beseech you, I request you, let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack of reverent estimation. Impediment is hindrance or a block. So he is young, very young. He is very young. So normally you may think that a lawyer should be old enough. Only old people have a lot of wisdom and experience. Don't think like that. Though he is young, he does not lack, he should not lack any reverence. You should give him every reverence because he is very good at his work. For I never knew so young a body with so old a head. His body is young, but his head is old, which means though he is young, he is a learned lawyer and he has lot of experiences. Whose trial shall better publish his commendation? So I'm not going to speak too much about it. You yourself will come to know how good he is at handling this case. So that is a letter from Bellario. Nothing much to understand. Bellario was sick. It so happened somebody else, a friend of his called Balthasar, was there when the messenger came. So we discussed the case with him, and I have briefed him about this particular case. Though he is very young, he is very efficient and intelligent, and he will take my place and argue the case. Never mind that he's young, he will prove himself a great, excellent lawyer. You will come to know from your own experience. That's all. So, Duke, you hear the learned Bellario, what he writes, and here I take it. Is the doctor come? So this is the thing. This is what Bellario has written, and I'm going to accept Balthasar to take up the case. Is the doctor come? Has the doctor come? The lawyer come? Enter Portia, dressed like a doctor of laws. Give me your hand. Come you from old Bellario. So just saying, Portia comes inside, and the Duke welcomes him. Welcomes him. The lawyer giving a shake hand. Come you from old Bellario? Have you come from old Bellario? Portia. I did, my lord. Duke. You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court? Are you acquainted is familiar? Familiar. That means, do you know? Do you have idea about the case? Are you acquainted? Are you familiar with the difference? That is the dispute that holds, that involves this present question, present case in the court, before the court. So, Duke is asking Balthasar, are you aware? Are you informed of, familiar with this particular case that is involved and that you have to take up now? This particular case, are you familiar? Portia, I am informed thoroughly of the cause. Thoroughly, truly is given truly. Truly is thoroughly, meaning is given on the right hand. I am informed thoroughly, that is in detail, of the cause, that is of the case, which is the merchant here and which the Jew. That means already Balthasar knows about it. Which is merchant. Who is the merchant and who is the Jew? Duke. Antonio and old Shylock both stand for. So the calls out. Both the names are called out. Portia. Is your name Shylock? She asked Shylock. Is your name Shylock? Shylock. Shylock is my name. So accept that he is Shylock.